The crisis that unfolded after the second major false flag operation in Pahalgam, located in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, follows a familiar and disturbing precedent. The first such event, documented in the book The Meadows, had already exposed how state-sponsored deception can be used to manipulate narratives and escalate regional tension. Once again, India portrayed itself as the victim, skipped due process, and launched pre-planned strikes across the line of control. This wasn't just a provocation, it was a direct test of deterrence in South Asia. As the dust from Operation Bunyanum Marsoos settles, one fact is clear: war has no space between nuclear powers. India claims Operation Sindoor has created a new normal for limited conflict. The outcome proves otherwise. Pakistan's mired conventional response restored deterrence and reaffirmed escalation control. India called its strikes after the Pahalgam incident a counter-terrorism response, but failed to present any credible, independently verified evidence before launching missiles and drones across the line of control and international border. This was not law enforcement, it was coercion. Pakistan rightly saw it as a violation of sovereignty and a disruption of strategic balance. India's bid to reset the rules of engagement failed. Pakistan responded within hours with its largest joint service conventional retaliation in recent history, targeting 26 military sites from Adhampur to Srinagar. BrahMos depots, air bases and logistic hubs were hit using loitering munitions, precision artillery, drone swarms and Fatah series missiles. This was not a spectacle but a statement, a demonstration of tri-service coordination, real-time intelligence and controlled escalation. It reinforced Pakistan's conventional deterrence, precise, mired and credible. Prime Minister Modi's speech after Operation Sindoor appeared more focused on saving face and gaining political support. His aggressive remarks like "mitti mein mila denge" and "ghus ke marenge" may sound strong, but such language is political, not strategic. Since 9/11, India has tried to blur the line between armed freedom movements and terrorism, a tactic often used by occupying forces. However, international law, including the Geneva Convention and UN resolutions, clearly supports the right to self-determination. Kashmir, like Palestine, is recognized as a legitimate struggle, not foreign terrorism. This confusion helps India justify internal crackdowns, cross-border strikes, claims on AJK and Gilgit-Baltistan, and its aim to dominate the region under the Akhand Bharat plan. Some people, both in the West and in India, have said nuclear deterrence failed because both sides exchanged fire. But that's not how deterrence works. Nuclear deterrence isn't meant to stop every conflict. It is there to stop things from getting out of hand and turning into a full-scale war, especially a nuclear one. And in that sense, it worked. Now, some say Pakistan's red lines weren't crossed. But that's not accurate. What you need to understand is that countries like Pakistan have nuclear weapons, don't clearly announce what will trigger a response. They keep some things vague on purpose. It's not a simple checklist. It's more about perception, timing, and intent. You don't just climb a ladder, you navigate through it carefully, depending on the situation. Pakistan's approach to deterrence is flexible. It's about balancing readiness with control. It's not a set rule, but a way to manage tension carefully, making sure nothing crosses the line into full conflict. India's actions, on the other hand, follow a pattern we have seen before. Provoke, claim to be victim, retaliate with force, and then say it was self-defense. But this cycle isn't only risky, it's dangerous for everyone involved. And here's something important. The Balochistan Liberation Army, BLA, openly said it's India's military arm on the western side. This isn't just talk, it's a serious admission. India can't deny it anymore. Pakistan has proof of India's involvement in supporting these militant groups and will keep showing the world the truth. India's claim to always be the victim while backing groups that attack Pakistan doesn't add up. It's just not credible. Some people say that Pakistan's decision not to use certain aircraft or target civilians showed weakness. But that's a misunderstanding of strength. Pakistan's choice to hold back was strategic, not forced. It showed restraint, avoided unnecessary damage, and still achieved military results far beyond what the aggressor achieved. This is what true deterrence looks like. Pakistan doesn't want war, but it won't let anyone set the terms of conflict or change its pain threshold without consequences. As Denzel Washington's character says in Crimson Tide, in the nuclear age, the true enemy is war itself. The failure wasn't in deterrence, it was in the reckless desire for war. Pakistan's response was never about boosting, it was about restoring balance of power. India must realize that its aggression hasn't erased history, it's only reminded the world about the unresolved issue in Indian-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, the push for Khalistan, and the dangers of mixing politics with military tactics. Ultimately, Pakistan made it clear, there is no room for war between nuclear powers. Any attempt to create that space will crumble under its own miscalculations. This is Amara Farad Baloch, and you are watching Nexus Bulletin.